Hey everybody, it's Emily Gear. I am a transformative energy healer in a multidimensional channel. And even though I am supposed to be taking a break right now, and I really am, but I felt this sense of urgency to try to bring a message out to you for the new moon that is taking place tonight. And frankly, if it's not supposed to make its way out there, it won't. Clearly, the universe has no problem screwing with my technology. So we're going to make this one a voice recording because somehow it is much easier and a lot less stressful for me to do it that way. So as you know, I'm no astrologer, even though I have a knowledge that is basic and just enough to be dangerous, as I like to say. I did want to just channel through the messages that I'm getting for this new moon because it does feel significant. First of all new moons are new beginnings. Obviously, I have a new lunar cycle, but this one does feel like a very important and potent new beginning for everyone. I'm getting a lot of activity in my heart. I have been getting that for several days now, but right now as I speak, it's kind of opening and moving around. And I do feel that sort of Leo energy of the heart that I've been talking about in my last few videos is really important here. Obviously, this is a new moon in Leo. But Leo connects to the sun and it connects to the heart energy. It's very expansive. It's wide. The sign of Leo is all about romance. It can be about children. It can be about enjoyment, creativity, playing. All of those things are so wide, expansive, and bringing so much joy to our lives. So much of it is about joy and creativity. I think that, they're talking about the transversing Cancer season was particularly difficult for a lot of people this year, between the eclipses and just a number of different emotional depths that we would have dove to before reaching heights and then diving back down below. It was really a roller coaster for a lot of people. So I'm understanding from this energy that much of that emotional roller coaster is going to be stopping. It will be a more even keel, and it will be a much more glowing, kind of heart-centered, joyful, loving energy that's coming in. Not that the Cancer season wasn't loving, but there was just so much facing of the internal emotional wounding that we did in July. And tonight a lot of that is changing. Now tonight, Mercury does go direct later this evening, actually around 11:12 p.m. And so that brings with us a kind of forward motion that we have not had for a little bit. And actually, the feeling that I'm getting here is, while last week I felt a very strong propulsion forward, I'm feeling a slightly slower movement forward, but I am feeling a movement forward, and I do believe that that's representing the movement of Mercury back into Leo from its stationing here, or stationing in Cancer. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to hear. So I am feeling that this is kind of a slow progression into, and it's not really a slow progression, it's just a methodical, that's really a better word, a methodical progression into it's kind of a new cycle, a new year of new beginnings, which I think came out in the water reading a few days ago. But I'm still feeling that, and that it's not only a time of new beginnings, but they are going to be new beginnings that bring with them positive results or victories or satisfaction, or a feeling of fulfillment, a feeling of joy, of coming full circle in some senses. This is the feeling of there are some completions, but I feel that they are completions in a positive sense. More than anything, I feel like there are a lot of victory type energies coming in for us. And so some of the things that were put on hold for the last 3 weeks are going to be moving forward, not necessarily bolting forward, but they will be moving forward and bringing in positive results. This is a direct result of the change and the transformation that you would have gone through in the last month and during the last 3 weeks of Mercury retrograde, during Cancer season. That's most recently, but so many people, I mean, with Saturn completely opposite, just opposing Cancer at this time, we've all gone through a difficult and interesting time of review, and people in my generation specifically who have their Pluto in Libra are squaring Cancer and Capricorn, and that has been a very interesting energy as well. So that has been going on for many years. But I have felt a real uptick in the kind of review type energy, the kind of like, they're giving me the image of crushing coal into a diamond. Like that's the sort of energy that Pluto and Libra people have been going through. Not to say that others have not been going through just as challenging of energy, but that is one that has come up for me recently. So this movement forward, this sort of victory or recognition, this very positive energy that's coming in is a direct result of the heart opening that you would have experienced, that you will experience as a result of this new moon, but also that you have been set up for by going through all of the heart awakening that you did in the last month, or at least last 3 weeks. It is going to open up some more opportunities for you, and it might actually open up the opportunity for you to make a choice that maybe you didn't think you had before, and that you're going to be able to make a choice based upon your heart's desire, your soul's desire, what you... I don't want to say what you want, because want and desire are really two words that kind of lack the high vibrational tone that this is really trying to get across. But it's as if we are able to choose the highest timeline forward for ourselves based upon who we truly are. I'm going to put it that way. They're showing me, I know I saw the horoscope wheel earlier, and they're showing me this like massive lineup of planets that are all conjunct each other in Leo, and like the feeling that I get from that is a lot of warmth of sun, like this warmth of the sun, and the sun is conjunct the moon, and I think conjunct Mars and Juno, a number of different planets. I think Venus as well. So there are loose conjunctions, but they're conjunctions. And that to me feels like a very unifying sense of wholeness and completion within oneself, and therefore a greater stability and understanding of who we are at our core and at our heart level, okay, in the 5D. And being able to make those choices based upon that higher heart level, and not this more base 3D everyday, what I need to get done, how I need to, accomplish or achieve or aspire to make some accomplishment within the physical world. Okay, how do I make this money? How do I buy that house? Those kinds of things. I'm not actually putting those things down, but that's the kind of energy that I feel that we are getting out of. Like that is still a part of our lives in some senses. In other ways, we've broken out of the boxes that demand this sort of level of 3D achievement that we have to put so much focus and work on it. Like, it comes easier when we are able to focus in on that blazing heart energy that we have access to all the time, in all times of the year, at all, all moments of the day, all seasons, not just now, not just in Leo season, but this is really reintroducing us to a higher level of it, because we receive this really profound heart awakening. And that is happening tonight as well. I'm actually being told to suggest that you do some kind of I don't know if you want to call it a new moon ceremony, or just making an offering to the universe, or to source, to the divine, to God, asking for an open heart and asking for the highest and best good to be done based upon the highest possible timeline and the highest and best good. And focusing and connecting your heart center up to source through the moon, and just making those connections to all of that energy all at once. So however that works for you, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but they are really suggesting some kind of energy offering to the universe through the heart space. Okay. I think that coming to an end here is some of this sense of hurry up and wait, some of this sense of waiting for things to start happening, for things to start coming into your life. I feel like this really is a beginning of a lot of the stuff starting to come to fruition in your life. A lot of the things that you have been trying to manifest, an important, they just reminded me, the Lion's Gate being an important manifestation portal. And I will tell you this, because I didn't put this in my water sign reading okay, so the water sign reading didn't actually come through because the audio didn't record, so I wrote something out for you. Well, I didn't include this part, and that was that they channeled an entire section about Polaris. And I don't know what this is about. I'm just giving you the information. And so I feel that there are these like sort of bright white, blue, crystal type light rays that are coming in from the star Polaris, which I felt were purifying in a I don't know, a really deep way, our energies. And I also felt them sort of cutting us out of these kind of butterfly nets that we were kind of trapped to the surface of the earth in. They were almost like these grids that were like butterfly nets. And they were sort of cutting through that and allowing an expansion of our personal energy field through this white, blue, sort of crystal, like quartz or clear crystal, maybe diamonds, like bright blue-white energy. And they connected it to the star Polaris. So I don't know what that's about at all in any way, shape, or form. But I'm just passing that on to you because it actually brings up the image of the Ace of Swords for me, of course, being a tarot girl. And the fact that, okay, this is weird. They're also showing me a nail file where the crystals on the nail file are diamond dust, which is obviously a hard substance. It can help file down your nails, and it looks like a sword. So it's like something about filing away or removing or continuing to clear out or cut open or whatever. Some kind of, I feel that it's a natural energy that is somehow constricting us. And so there is an opening of this kind of cosmic energy coming in at this time. And I feel that it opens our energy fields in a way that it enables and enhances the manifestation possibilities. And okay, now they're circling me back to 8/8, the Lion's Gate. Really great every year, obviously, always manifestation potential, the eight, manifestation numbers, of course. And so that we should use that energy to our advantage. And advantage is another one of those words which really like falls short of the meaning that I'm trying to pull through here. But it's really about activating that possibility, that gift within us, as these energies are opened up wider and wider at this time. I'm trying to understand if this sort of Polaris energy is related to the Lion's Gate or if it's related to this new moon, but it doesn't really matter. It's happening, it's changing your energy field, and between now and then, there is a heightened ability to manifest through the heart. Okay. Some of the things that have been put on hold are going to start again. Part of that was Mercury retrograde. Part of that was just needing to pass this this gateway, this portal, all right, in order to just on a natural level, just open all of that up. All right. It is important to stay centered in the heart. That is where your manifestation power is coming from. It is not coming from the mind, at least in this case. So disengage your critical thought process. Allow it to manifest through the heart. I think balance is coming much easier now. You will receive a certain level of balance. Also, something is coming up in Sagittarius season. We are trying a number of planets. They're just showing me. I don't know which planet. Well, I do kind of know what's in Sagittarius. Jupiter in Sagittarius actually retrograde for another week and a half and then going direct. So I believe that once that goes direct, there will be another opening around August 11th or 12th. Again, I don't know the dates. Sorry, guys. I suck. That opens another wave of really benefic energies coming in. And some of the internal work we've been doing since the spring is going to turn external. It's going to start moving forward now in like practical ways. And that will be, okay, oh God. Whew. They're just feeding this all in. So a lot of the other planets will be pushed forward into Virgo at that time. Not the sun, but a number of the other planets, and that will help to bringing forward some of these manifestations in practical ways. Okay, they're pointing to the word practical here. There are a lot of conflicts that came up during the eclipses, during the retrograde, during July. I'm also being pointed to April. So it may be that March and April were related conflicts that started then maybe and really came to a head in July. But in either case, those are closing up. Those are coming to a close. They're coming to a natural end. And I feel, okay, sorry, I don't know, they just don't give me all this information. They just tell me stuff to say, and then they tell me later, or I realize what they're saying. I think Jupiter went retrograde in April. So I think that's why this stuff started in April. And don't you love when I like come to these realizations in real time, like while I'm recording this stuff? I swear, I think there are probably some people who really enjoy that, and some people who think I'm a freaking idiot. Anyway. Okay, so I think that this is that Jupiter retrograde season kind of closing up, and there is conflict energy that's in there, and it may have been just like an internal conflict that you were kind of navigating during this time, where you contracted that expansive Jupiterian energy, and it's going to go forward again mid-August. And so that's going to bring in a lot more of this like really positive, expansive, what was I saying before, like victorious type energy back into your life. And that, though, is contingent. I'm hearing contingent upon you really standing in your power and what that means for you. That does not mean forcing control over other people, obviously. This is probably not the group that I have to worry about telling that to. But this is really about being in one's personal power and drawing the lines to where you will and will not let your life in the places where you can control it, right? There are things in your life that you cannot control, but in the ways that you can control it, deciding what you are and are not going to let bother you, what you are and are not going to give your time to, what you are and are not going to give your heart to. That is what it's basically having the free will choice to decide certain things. And when you had the free will choice to decide certain things, like how will I react to this, or what things will I let bother me, that kind of stuff, you have an absolute choice over. No matter how many times you might think that you don't, you do. Okay, those are the things that you indeed can control. And so, all of this that I am saying is contingent upon you really having this grasp of your own sovereignty, of what standing in your power means, okay? And it doesn't, like all the words that we have to talk about power and sovereignty, all of those words are very masculine in nature. They're very like colonialistic in nature. And the real power we're looking at right now is much closer to the divine feminine. It's much closer to the power that comes when you simply open up and allow the things that resonate with you, that are vibrating to you, okay? As opposed to being forced to do anything or forcing yourself to do anything. It's removing that force, that very masculine structure of things. And that's not to say that that the masculine structure is bad. It's just that at this time, we are integrating that divine feminine energy back into our lives. Okay? That great blazing heart. Even though the sign of Leo is typically thought of as a masculine sign, I want to challenge you to think of the wide and deep, loving nature of the divine feminine and integrate that archetype into your life moving forward. Because it's that depth of the heart energy that is really going to push you or carry you, not push, carry you into the next few weeks. Okay? So, let me just see if there's anything else. I'm hearing something about a reactive nature. So it's not very clear. So it's possible that there's just sort of a lookout for any kind of reactive nature that might come about through all of the fire energies that are happening right now. Be aware of that. And you have control over the way that you respond to things. And so take a step back if you find yourself getting triggered. All right? There will always be triggers, but we are entering into a period of really rich joy and abundance. They're also saying to be very, very careful and very aware of the words and thoughts that you're using and having because of the manifestation capabilities of this time. Whatever your thoughts are, wherever your thoughts are going, that's what you're bringing into your life. Okay? Whatever words you're saying, that's what you're bringing into your life. If they are coming out of your mouth, you are manifesting those. If they are floating around your brain, you are manifesting those. So be aware of your thoughts and your words and even your actions, but especially your thoughts and words at this time, okay? So I hope this is helpful. I was getting one more impression, and I think it is because this is called a black moon. And it's because it's the second new moon in 1 month's time. It's like the new moon equivalent of a blue moon, which is a second full moon in a month's time. And yet they are showing me something about the subconscious and about the inverse. I think this is about Black Moon Lilith, actually. I'm not clear on what they're saying, but I do have this feeling of integration, that the the dark moon, the dark can't exist without the light, and the light can't exist without the dark, and so when that dark face comes up, when the dark part of you comes up, it's important to accept and integrate. As I've said 800 times before, but they're showing it to me as Black Moon Lilith right now. And I truly don't know where Lilith is in the chart at the moment. But let's just say this is a message about integration and understanding how the underbelly is an important aspect of the, I don't know, what would you say the opposite of that is? The overbelly? I don't know. That's not a thing. All right, Emily, this is enough. I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Thanks, guys, for listening. I really appreciate all of you. If you are interested in a private reading with me, you can always set that up on my website, which is IamEmilyGear.com. Or you can always reach out to me by email, and you can also do that through my website as well. Thank you so much for your likes and subscribes and shares, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.